check.
Broadcasting live from Hypercube. Today we're sweating out the shame, the guilt, and pure humiliation we all received at X Day 26. Here is your host, Dr. Fox.
Oh my goodness gracious! Thank you, Flux Rutenberg. Welcome to Time for the Show. I'm Dr. Fox. This is your weekly Hypercube Subgenius Radio Ministry update and emergency broadcast pylon psychoustic algorithmic sorter. Joining me via Hypercom, and you can too. Just head on over to timefortheshow.com. Click the Discord button. It's easy squeezy, Reverend Peasy. How you doing, Peas?
Too fatigued from the extraneous circumstances of X Day, but I am here to do radio
and
nonetheless.
Doing radio with us tonight is also co-conspirator behind X Day, Fid Chuli, coming from an undisclosed dumpster behind one or more Denny's. It rotates. How are you doing, Fid Chuli?
Oh, hey guys.
Well, pretty much, I guess this week is just the big recap on everything that happened last week. And I guess it's time for Cube News, my favorite part of the show. We all know that Time for the Show never would have happened if it wasn't for Dr. Ellis and Martha Artha running Freethink Radio. So you can blame them. But over the weekend, Freethink Radio turned out to be the primary spot to catch all of the X Day stream. I'm just pulling up some numbers here from my. Here we go.
I wish we had numbers. So then we would know what.
Why we do, because between July 2nd and July 5th, we had 652 unique listeners on Freethink Radio, averaging session lengths of 1 hour. So we had people from all across the world tuning in to listen, including 43 in Brazil. The next 60 come in straight from the U.S. of A, followed by several listeners in Canada. That's broken up. Our top listener nation being the United States of America, because, hey, we're number one. But that came in with 380 sessions just from the U.S. alone, and we had countries such as Brazil, Canada, the Russian Federation, Germany, Mexico, the United Kingdom, Romania, and France tuning in. We actually had 17 listeners at least using a VPN through Romania, so that's good work, guys. Keep the NSA on your toes.
We had some Australian people from Oceania and stuff listening too, I think.
Yeah, well, they didn't show up on the list. Maybe they were our Romanian VPN users. But yeah,
well,
throughout the week we had 1,000 listeners between the prior Monday and July 5th, X Day. So that's a major event happening over at Freethink Radio. So we welcome everybody, and hopefully we'll be getting some of the guys from X Day, including the Too Late Show. They had no idea about Freethink, and we told them about it, and it was right up their alley, because they don't want to do YouTube, which because they wouldn't get away with it. But those guys were great, and so was everybody else that came out and performed. Trixie Von Mothersbaugh, Rubik's Cube, Danny Feedback, Ray Brazen,
Baby Adam.
Baby Adam.
They survived just barely.
Who just so many people came out, and of course, apologies for not being able to live stream like we were planning. But this was a pilot run. We went in dry here, folks, with nothing but the best intentions. But the con always finds a way to interfere. But thanks to subgeniuses like Reverend Johnny is Wrong for maintaining constant live streams, as well as Ferg on their phones. We had one laptop completely demolished. We have another laptop. The hard drive's not reading on it. It was quite an event, and we brought a lot of equipment that some of us weren't really prepared to lose, but it's gone now. So for those of you who didn't get to see X Day, well, that's kinda the point. You're really supposed to be there. So the fact that you got to see even a glimpse of the madness that was happening out there, you should consider yourself lucky.
But
we were immediately invited back. Reverend Xanthia Octashroom was just overwhelmed. She's a busy lady. She's really busy. She was while we were doing shows out on the stage, she was plaster casting a pregnant woman inside. She's busy. And she really wants to be more involved in more, so much that she wants us back several times a year. And we've been invited to come back, and we are already setting up a Subgenius Devival for October 16th of con year 2021 at the Land of Id, or whatever the hell it's called. But we're really grateful that we were able to go down there and have so much fun. And to reiterate what Dr. Legume told me, X Day is not a vacation. It's a drill. And these guys survived, and they had a good time, and they want to come back for more. So we're really looking into that. What did you guys take away other than sprains and bruises?
I think one of the things that's worth noting is that tremendous excitement was had for the Bull Data auction.
Went over really well.
I think we had some items that were crazy enthusiastically bid on. I'm curious if to Fid Chuli, we were trying to give him a peg leg because it was Florida and, you know, like the Caribbean and him being a pirate and all. But did you recover from your injury to your peg leg? It didn't seem like the peg leg took hold.
Well, bad news and good news. They had to take the leg, but they gave me one of Lieutenant Dan's old legs. Did I just say Lieutenant Dan?
You did. It's like you're the peas.
Yeah, it's the same stuff they built the space shuttle out of.
Start the show over. I need to land that joke, guys. It's really important. I think we.
I honestly can't
True.
believe that we even got a show in this week. We pulled everything out of boxes starting at like 5 p.m. this afternoon.
Oh yeah.
And it has been an overhaul. Even Aster 6 and Flux Rutenberg had to go buy a new computer monitor because mine died while I was here. So even not using it, the Hypercube took quite a beating while we were gone. But the bunny's okay. The bunny is okay.
I like radio because I can scratch my genitals and nobody can tell.
Well, we're still doing video on YouTube there. And everybody can
But you
see
can't-
all that shame that you're just scratching away.
You can't see my hands though, so
Now, that
I
was
don't
my
know.
first X Day.
Speaking
So, the thing is all these feelings of
What is the thing?
Of shame and humiliation, does that go away, or do I have to fully douse myself in slack?
Basically, it builds up. Layers of it build up over the years. It's like a fine peat moss on a sloth.
Crust.
It's very crusty.
Okay. Well, I've noticed because there seems to be quite a few subgeniuses that I've met that have developed that crust, and it's almost like a protective exoskeleton, if you will. Am I right?
Crust.
Yeah.
some of them have even started developing boobs.
Well, I mean, I just hope I
Ashtray?
don't develop any more gynecomastia.
No, you couldn't get any nastier, Flux Rutenberg.
Yeah, well, thanks to Elvis
It's
Martini,
medically
I
impossible.
was able to get a good caricature.
It's medically impossible.
Of how terrible I looked during the event. And if I'm not mistaken, Fid, you got one too, right? An Elvis Martini cartoon.
We may have lost Fit.
There it is.
Behold it in its
Oh,
greatness.
there it is. Here, let me get that on the big
Yeah,
screen.
up on the full screen there. Elvis Martini was doing caricatures of subgeniuses, and they were great.
Little known fact, that Fitzjulie had just shaven before that picture, but he had also just eaten a long-haired guinea pig. So that's really not a beard that you see. It is the remains at guinea pig, which is different from a guinea fowl, surprisingly enough. Totally different regions.
But they're both from, yeah.
Can I have some Quaaludes? Can I have some Quaaludes, please? You gonna
Those
share?
Yeah, you
Those
know
are
all
for
about
me.
those.
Speaking of Sharon, boy, you sure did
Jesus
share
Christ!
with Matt
Listen to you.
Ferg.
You talk about how exciting the fucking auction was. At a bait auction, it was really exciting, and
It was good. It
Ah.
was a good auction.
I was just so filled with excitement at X Day.
I think Pease is getting tired because he already put on his Mickey Mantle jeans.
This is an authentic jersey, dude. This says I support the team.
Well,
Yeah, which team is that?
The Baltimore Yankees.
those fucking assholes. Didn't they lose
It's the best
recently to the Italians?
hockey team. Yeah.
Well, one thing I've definitely done, which is my favorite part of the show, is my favorite lines from X Day, which I totally have to give Reverend Rock God this year, and I think Fid was there with me for that. He came up and obviously he had been jamming out and helping run X Day for several days at this point. And he looks me in the eye and says, "Hey, where's that box of dildos?" So that's my favorite X Day quote. Did you guys get any chief one-liners or takeaways?
Well, we have the walkie-talkie,
No.
right? And I don't know who said it. I think it was Fid, and it was the classic. This is left nut to right nut. How's it swinging? That one was great. Just the fact that I think only you, Fox, and Ferg knew the radio codes, and everybody else was just kind of fucking around on it.
The radios were the best part of X Day,
Oh,
though.
yeah.
Like next year, I have to set one up just to be recorded.
Well, we tried getting them into the microphone, but there was just so much feedback.
Yeah, well, they're
not a good idea.
They're kind of one-way devices, but we had actually given one of the radios to the assistants of Xanthia while we were there, and they actually had it on and cranked all the way up. They were listening to all of the terrible garbage that we were saying
You know,
all weekend.
I
and they
really regret.
they were tearing up about it. So that I think that my favorite part of X Day this year was the walkie-talkies. That was such an elite thing. We could easily just sell walkie-talkies next year. That could be ethical.
Yeah.
You know, the only thing I regret, unfortunately, that we didn't have ponchos. I feel that
Ponchos would
Poncho
have
really
helped
gone
the
handy
flood that came
on Saturday.
through,
Yeah, especially getting out of the pool.
and then into
Ponchos
a pool.
and cup stilts. Yeah, I had to tell people to get out of the pool. And you got struck by
Flux
lightning.
Rutenberg got struck by
Rutenberg.
lightning.
That's my
Yeah.
favorite part of Next day.
Man, stop reminding me about that. That was the weirdest feeling in the world.
Brush with death.
I thought somebody threw a
It
full
was the
beer
best.
can at my foot, and I cannot describe that
To set
feeling.
the scene, we're over at the security tower, standing outside, and it is starting to rain, and the lightning is striking very close. And we're sitting
Feet
outside,
away.
and Flux Rutenberg
This lightning
was
strike
in
was-
just full flat feet, going
Bare feet,
raw
sitting on
dog.
a metal chair, on a metal stair, like the step you go into a camper, and he's sitting on
yeah.
that metal, and he's got his bare
The
footsies on the
wet ground.
And I want to say about 75 feet, maybe 100 feet away. It was so close that it actually lit up the sky all around us like a strobe light for a second. And he jumped up his feet, and I immediately started to laugh. Being a doctor and a scientist, I knew immediately what had happened. And that he had able to jump up and didn't fall over dead and on smoke, I knew that there was no risk, no harm to him. But he was quite shocked by the whole event.
Well, to put it bluntly,
Shocked.
yeah, that was a good one, Pease. But I'm just surprised that it was only
joke
my
on the
feet
radio.
that I felt it through. It went straight to the ground. I was grounded.
Well, you weren't
somehow.
touching anything else. You were sitting. Your butt was sitting on the metal chair, dude.
My butt was fine.
That's what made your ground.
Yeah, well, I have been known to have quite. The
I can't. I
dump
don't
truck.
have time to explain. If Cosmac of Cosmac's Commandos was here, he could explain to you how the electricity works.
Yeah, 'cause
I know
I'm not a
you're
doctor.
much like a juggalo when it comes to science, and are amazed by magnets
Well, how do they
and the
work?
way the toilet spins when you flush it. No one knows.
The questions big magnets are too afraid to ask.
Yeah.
Yeah, take that, government.
Speaking of big magnets, there was also Caller 23's show,
Oh man,
which was
Best show of the whole weekend.
completely insane. I had to walk away and take care of business, and I had come back, and Caller 23 had constructed a pylon, which obviously was the biggest Hypercube Psycho Resonator pylon ever constructed, complete with rotary beacon on the top. And Fid Chuli's rant, which was a good. I got to explain audience abuse, because time for the show, the core value of time for the show is suffering, and sometimes it's the audience that suffers, and sometimes it's the hosts that suffer. And definitely, Fid had suffering down. Because after he had split his fucking leg open, also another quote of X Day was Dr. Howe remarking, "Fid Chuli is bleeding everywhere." A great was a real takeaway there, because Fid was coming up to the sound booth and fucking bit it. Both legs went through the stairs, and he falls on his back, not flat on his back. His ass is on the step, and his head is headed towards the next step, which is the ground. And
Luckily, his head broke his fall.
Well, I got to ask you about that because I don't have any memory of actually making contact. Now, to set the stage a little bit, I'm walking up to the sound booth, and I think it'd be a great idea to run past the pool and do a flying scissor kick into the sound booth where all the equipment was set up. So at the end of the day, it's a good thing I fell. Because if I didn't, yeah, there was Dr. Fox and all the precariously set up recording equipment. And I'm like, you know what? If there was ever a time to do a flying scissor kick, it's right the fuck now.
well, you
so-
scissor kicked.
This is actually a half hour after Stang yelled at you severely, you and Elvis drunken asses, away from his fucking equipment, if I'm not mistaken. Good Julie, you fuck off
he
right
yelled at me
now
a
is
half
what
hour
he said.
earlier. He yelled at me for trying to pick up the catfish that were walking out of the pond, and that's not an exaggeration. There were
It rained so
catfish
hard the fish
walking
left
out
the
of
water.
pond. Literally.
No,
But I need to know. I need to know because my memory stops once I got right up to about full speed. And then I slam into the thing. And so I was going to ask you guys about exactly what happened, but I think I want to take this journey with the viewers together because
Bloody
I don't
Mary
know.
bar.
well, as you
Bloody
had
Mary
indicated,
bar is
you
what
were
happened.
yes, one running at the pool, And 2, yes, you did attempt to scissor kick into the sound booth. However, you Chuck Norris'd your ass in between the negative space of the top step and the step down.
Oh, no, I was there when it happened.
I watched it. Because he was coming at me.
Well, he was on the stage, or he was coming up the sound booth step, which was just a shitty, rotten riser made out of like old pallet wood and carpeted.
Board.
Foot on that
But you got-
first board, and it flipped up and off the riser.
Oh,
So he didn't miss.
Oh.
And
it just
flipped up, and then his whole leg went.
So that was when the
Everything-
step came off. Was it
That's
that?
when the step came.
Everything at this place was broken.
Good way to sell it, guys. I'm glad we're going back next year.
No, they're gonna fix some stuff.
They're gonna fix it.
Oh, my
Did I
favorite
cry
part.
like a bitch?
Fid, you didn't
No.
make a sound.
You started-
went down on the ground. Like I said, so your legs, there's the middle rung of the steps, and then there's the space on either side, and then there's the rest of the steps. So you, as you slipped and went backwards, the step, I guess according to Aster, flew up. And then you went under the next step. It's a miracle you didn't tear your nut sack open.
We don't.
did,
know
But
that.
you
balls
did. You
first.
went balls first into. If I can get a camera shot here, yeah. So like the rail is here, and his legs go in like this. And if you've ever met Fid Chuli, he's built like a Holocaust victim, not a survivor, a victim. And one leg goes on one side and one goes on the other. And so I believe it is his left knee that has either suffered the most damage, but his right leg was cut up, and it looked like he had a shark bite on his right leg, and he hobbled the rest of the weekend and continued to pack shit up and move shit and play the drums, and there was no stopping Fid Chuli.
Yeah, and you
It
know what I
wasn't his
got
good
for it?
foot though.
All I got for that was the two 70-year-olds that were there, Hal and Stang, were busting my chops for getting around slower than they were. Great. Thanks, guys. I know, I mean, when I signed up for time control, I didn't know it was going to make me age like the guy at the end of Indiana Jones in The Last Crusade that drank from the wrong fucking cup. You know what I mean?
Oh, that
And the portrait of
that M.
Dorian
Shyamalama-
Chuli.
That M. Shyamalama guy's got a movie about that where you're like you age 15 years in a couple minutes and your mom's all sad.
Just want to make sure I didn't scream like a bitch when I went balls
No,
first.
you did.
oh, you cried so hard, like
You
there was-
wanted gauze.
there's
You,
an
you
orthopedic-
requested gauze
there
for
was
some reason.
not an orthopedic, but a occupational therapist there. Thank God.
Somehow the gauze.
And
No, she didn't know what she was
doing.
doing.
Yeah, there was a
She was like,
basically
you should go to the hospital.
We had a
Her
medic.
knees fucked up. That's what she said.
Yeah, dude,
You
we
should
had
go
a
to the
medic
hospital.
show
Your knees
up, and
fucked
after
up.
seeing what you had done to yourself, they left.
I don't want to be.
That's actually a true story. Somebody with medical training evaluated Fid Chuli and said, "I have to get the hell out of here."
Well, the thing is, and
Look at him now. I'm liable.
Pease will be able to relate to this because he is a fellow Irishman. We're stubborn fucking assholes. Our only saving grace is our sense of humor. But I remember the part that I do remember is everybody offering help and me going, I'm good, and then walking away like Blackbeard drunk. But yeah, so all I remember is refusing all of my friends, well-intentioned assistance, like a.
Here, let's put some ice on.
No, it's cool. I'll just drink another beer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Here, have some water.
Well, it worked.
Beer has water in
It
it.
worked. I'm getting better. So,
another one of my favorite.
Are you?
Yeah, because I had said to Fid, why don't I take you to at least like a minute clinic and get you some painkillers? And his response was, well, then I won't feel the pain as I continue to do all of these things that I'm already doing. So there was no stopping him. There was no stopping him. So I salute you, Fid Chuli. And I also salute Reverend Evans and Ferg.
Oh,
Ferg won the Bobby Award for Best Improvised Hotel Manager this year, as the security tower became the home for wayward subgeniuses. And he put everybody up. And then, of course, we did have our annual run-in with Reverend Funny Name.
oh, there's always that one guy.
Which is a good reason that I incentivize to everybody. Well, I guess I'm not incentivizing it because nobody's getting anything out of it. But why you should always stay sharp when you're running an end of the world drill, and at least let somebody know if you're not going to be so sharp for a little while. But we were able to.
Let's tell that break. Let's tell that story after the break.
We had. Are we at break already?
We gotta tease it first,
27
Pete. We
minutes.
gotta tease it.
All right.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I think that's a good tease.
All right, well, we'll be back with Reverend Funny Name after this commercial break. You're watching Time for the Show.
Time for the Show is brought to you by great products such as Triology soaps made by your man, Lord Ferg, who really helps us out in many, many ways. And I just want to say, if you want to wash your filthy, filthy mouths and all that X-Day stank, go over to TriologySoaps.com and get yourself some of that good old soap. Or head on over to PackSlack.com and pick up some Hypercube stickers. Or some more Sub-G Kids music that we're going to be playing in 5, 4, 3, 2,
Or you can go to
1.
superspherego.com and get a bath mat.
Think I need a pill. Think I need a pill. What should I do? With my poop shoe? Should I go up? Should I go down? Poop's all around. Poop's all around.
It's working.
In my gut, making me fart. Oh, excuse me. I didn't mean to do that right on your face. I just happened to be bending over right in front of you. Come eat my poop. I swear you'll like it so much. It tastes like caviar on a Sunday with your favorite football game. Shoot! Score! He took it! He took it right in the mouth! That's what's up! On your face and your skin and your hair, smear it everywhere, smear it, smear it, smear my poop everywhere. It smells so good. Smells like chocolate balls with a little bit of icing just for you. He's lying, don't listen to him.
No, she's lying. She's lying.
Are you calling me fake news? Fake news in your poop shoes. Fake news, fake news. I am not fake news, sir, but I am the poop news. Poop, poop, doo. Poop, poop, doo. Poop, poop. Yeah! And your poop shoot going down your nose into your trachea, into your stomach, into your guts, into your, and now it's your poop. My poop is your poop. Oh, yes! This is the cycle of life. Am I right, Driver Negative?
I don't know. Maybe you're right. Maybe you're wrong. It's just a song.
Well, poop comes out, it fertilizes, and then it makes things grow, and then we eat those things, and then it becomes poop again. It's the cycle of life. We are poop. Oh no, I just realized the truth. This isn't fake news.
Everything I eat goes back into the earth. It goes back into the earth as my poop. Therefore, I am actually contributing the best thing that any human being has contributed to any sort of form of earth and life. And that is because I am this world. I am everything in this world. I have pooped so much. I've pooped in every single country in this world at some point or another in my entire lifespan. I'm talking about the lifespan that comes out from your energy.
Poop, poop, poop-a-doo. Poop, poop, poop-a-doo. Poop, poop-a-doo. Poop, poop-a-doo. It's the cycle of life, and everyone should just accept it and eat their own shit. Everyone, take your pants down right now. Pop a squat. Just, yeah, put a little push in it. There you go.
And we're back with a show for you and a story about a little sub-genius. I would say sub-genius of the year.
Definitely a ringer, if there ever was one. But yeah, we did get to have some fun with Reverend Funny Name there, and it goes just again, why it's a drill. So hats off to everybody on the team, because we did have somebody that wasn't ready, and was just a little too enthusiastic.
Had a really good time.
They let us know that they were having a really good time, and they were upset when they found out that we were upset with them. However, the response was not the best, and it did result in a forced ejection from X Day. But I'm again super grateful for Ferg and Evans being able to take care of all of that, and hold down the peace. And during that time, I had asked Pease or somebody, and Pease is the one that went over to the campsite. I had made a call that we need to get this guy's stuff together in a bag, And the way Peace put it to me is like, great, I got to go pick up somebody's campsite. And then he got there and saw, well, how would you describe what you found, Peace?
It's like a murder had taken place. The camp was all destroyed and fucked up. I was initially really pissed off because I'm like, I'm not going to go break down that guy's camp. But then when I got over there,
Well, he had done
there was
most of
nothing
that
to
for
break
you.
down.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I shoved it in a big old garbage bag and got it. You know, it's a sad thing because he's a very talented musician and had a really good time the first day. And I think he just kind of lost it the second day.
Well, I think
That's why it's a drill.
you know, you just have to just calm down a bit on the church air, just a smidge to kind of bring you back down, down onto the plane of which we exist.
Well, me and Fid caused a problem on Saturday too, and for which I am profusely sorry and have apologized for. It was a bad lack of judgment or a poor judgment on my call, which of course would imply a lack of judgment on my part.
Did you take a shit?
You know, Fid says he remembers. Now he remembers doing the kick, but if you talk to Fid later in that day, we'll say, "Hey,
Fid
remember
wasn't
those
remembering
delicious
a
Bloody
lot of
Marys
things
that we
that
had?"
day.
We started our day at the Bloody Mary bar. And that was really for a long time the last part of the morning that Fid remembered.
That Bloody Mary was great.
And then and they were, you know, we had everything. We had a lot of stuff that we didn't even get to. It was so busy.
What do
and
you
so
feel
much
about
fun.
it now, Peace? Did you take a shit in an unauthorized shit taking space too?
It was, you know, somebody said, "Hey, do you like the circus?" And I said, "I do like the circus." So I went to the circus, but it wasn't a good time to go to the circus because we were putting on a show. And there was a time when we needed to order pizzas, and I could not look at my phone very well. And I mentioned that I was probably
That's
not
another
in a
of my
good
favorite
position
lines
to
of
order
X-Day.
pizzas.
I am not in the mental state to order pizzas right now.
And it turned out, but here's the thing, it turned out I was able to pull off ordering the pizzas, and as it would have it, Domino's would not deliver to that place. We still don't know why. Everybody else would, Uber Eats would and shit, but so I had to order Subway sandwiches instead. But instead of the pizzas, yeah, Dirt Road or something, but it was at that moment that I felt a little chagrined because I hurt my friend's feelings and I didn't mean to. I did something impulsive and I should have waited. We had agreed to be impulsive together, and then of course I made Fid be impulsive, and because he'd never been to the circus either. And then Cosmac said he liked monkeys, and I said, well, there's no better place to go to the circus and see monkeys than the circus. And so it turned out that all of us had been impulsive, except for the one guy that we all promised that we wouldn't be impulsive. If we were going to be impulsive, we'd be impulsive together. But I will also say it came up that if we didn't get on the train, we weren't sure that we would be able to go to the circus. But it turns out later we should have waited for our good friend Dr. Fox to be impulsive with us. But he was impulsive later, and I think it worked out.
I was impulsive when I went over and told
So
somebody.
what you're saying is,
Yeah, what are you saying, Peace?
Well, I'm saying you had your impulses the next day, and
Is that what it is? Is that somebody was impulsive when I wasn't being impulsive, or was it the idea that multiple sub-geniuses running the show ended up being impulsive when obviously just within 24 hours later we had a situation where Reverend Funny Name got his own flyaway on a private saucer with little red and blue lights on top of it. And I think that's more of it. I mean, I can only speak for myself here. Well, but
God
yeah,
punished us. God punished us. So
yeah,
it
you
all
crippled
worked out.
Fid Chuli. I hope the circus was worth
Yeah.
breaking the drummer.
No, he could still drum, so it was okay.
I think that's.
It wasn't. His drumming
There's also
foot.
Aster
his
Six
drumming
can
foot
attest to the
was okay.
annual X Day tradition of Dr. Fox not getting one.
Yeah,
there's that's a
as per
long-standing
usual.
tradition.
I think that the only time
But
that
you
he
did.
doesn't have
But you
to
did
was-
in the long run.
Well, yeah, because I asked him to hold on to one for me, and then before I took it, I let the head of security know I was going off the radio because I was going to the circus. I think it's finding out.
And we did a
I think
show.
it's finding out when you're on the soundboard and really, really honing in on listening to Papa Joe Mama and Dr. Hal and Ivan Stang on the mics, broadcasting on freethinkradio.com. And when you're listening to that and really wanting to soak that in, that somebody comes up to you and says that they can't order a pizza, and then the next person comes up to you and says, hey, I need to buy merch, and then the next guy comes up to you asking when they're going on, all within about a span of 3 minutes. That's when it's probably not the best time to let that guy know that you're at the circus.
Well, but in all fairness, the way you just described that, I told you first, it's really those other two guys that added more stress to you than you needed.
Well, you didn't tell me. You
I'm not
didn't
saying
tell
it
me.
didn't
I
help.
found out.
Well, I said, I did tell you right after I said I'm in no condition to do that. You looked at me, and I said, well, I'm tripping, and then you told me, and
What
I
did I
felt
tell
really
you?
bad that I hurt your feelings, and then you said you guys really hurt my feelings, and then you got up and left, and then it started to rain like fucking shit for 6 hours,
Yeah,
and I
then we
couldn't
got
find
flooded
you,
out.
and I was texting you and looking for you everywhere. And I'm like, because I wasn't looking for you to do anything. I was looking for you to say, dude, I'm super sorry. And kind of indicate to you outside of the pizza thing, you know, I'm able to maintain. I was able to do the
He
stuff.
was fully
I
functional.
sold merch. And,
But how well
put
would
the
you
different
have been
acts
able to
on
have
and-
handled a rogue subgenius? Do you think that if you were having a little bit of an issue managing getting through to the pizza guy, how would you have done on a phone call to 911?
Well, first of
Because
all,
when
it
I was on the
app.
phone with 911, I had to get back on the radios every 10 seconds because everyone was describing their dick farts over the radio. So I had to tell the operator, which I thank God we are a sunshine state, because I am gonna get a transcript of that 911 call. If for anything, the radio chatter in the background. It was.
I think that radio chatter caused troubles. It almost killed
the radio.
me, you know. We have got to get the radio chatter under control.
Yeah, well, this is stuff for the meeting, not really the show. I'm glad
Yeah,
we're
oh,
doing
that's
it on
true.
the show, so there's a nice record
the
for
show.
everybody. But I think that's a major.
Ashtray?
Part of working together. That when you're going to take your break, that
I think I would have done well
you
in that
let
situation.
somebody else know, because when you
I did.
no, you didn't. I found out
Not okay.
hours later. I knew you were
but that-
tripping when you came up to
but that-
me at 9:33 on the recording, and you hand me a bottle of water and you say, "Gotta stay hydrated," with this big fucking
in the
smile on
morning.
your face. And I thought to myself, and I'm not
Well,
big
you
on
did
that.
need to be
I'm not big on
hydrated.
that, but I said, Pease is tripping. And then I watched him sit on a concrete slab and stare at the stage for about the duration of the show, as he would periodically get up and leave his lit cigarettes on a wet slab of concrete. Yeah, that's I think that's when I had a hunch that you might have been tripping, but yeah, when I'm told I can't order
Note it was
pizza.
9:30 in the morning.
Yeah, that.
Like,
Yeah,
I
let me
couldn't do it.
shave
It wasn't
off
because I
more
was
for
tripping
you.
though. It was they don't deliver it there. They don't deliver it there. And I was really gonna ask if you knew of a local pie place that would deliver.
No, the big
Then I got
takeaway
distracted by
here
Vid Chula.
is that Subway, if you're tripping, has the most psychedelic friendly user interface on their
Correct.
app.
Absolutely.
So don't waste your time. Don't be trying to get some Domino's, after you ate some shrooms. Like, go right to the Subway, save yourself some time. They understand. They know you're having a hard time.
Yeah. Remember,
and, their app
no
is
one ever
really
talks
for that.
about the good things that Jared did.
And here's the other thing, I think this will make you fair. Everybody else only did one. I did two. So everybody else was in much better shape. So, it wasn't a total abandonment. I was more impulsive than anyone
So
else.
you did yours and you did Fox's. Yours and
yeah.
Fox's.
Yeah.
No, he put it. It was
Wow.
he had put on a goldfish. I couldn't take half the
You
goldfish
did
and give it
two.
to Fox.
You could have brought one back to Fox.
No, it wasn't like that. It was drops. It had to go goldfish that you ate.
You guys could have Lady and the Tramped it, and
thought-
you could have put your tail on one side of the goldfish,
I
and then
think
Fox could
at
put
one
his tongue
point
on the
I
other
thought-
side of the goldfish.
I thought
Coulda
Fox
kissed.
will come over here and get his circus ticket any minute now. But then we forgot to tell him that we did it. So I think that, and like I said, it was a dick move on my part. I feel bad about it.
I know, except for when you keep trying to justify it. But that's okay, Peas. I still
Well-
love you.
The worst part about your betrayal of Fox was when you ordered Subway.
Yeah, what?
He doesn't like Subway.
Well, I
sucks.
didn't get a sandwich.
Yeah. People routinely found Dr. Fox's.
Gonna kick him while he's down, Pete.
You got to get up on the mic.
But yeah, Peas. The food was not secured, so Dr. Fox never
Yeah.
got that
Yeah,
food.
good job, Peas.
So yeah, you did great.
Yeah, you're keep it up.
With your circus ticket.
Also, I don't know if it was before going to the circus, during the circus, or after the circus, but Jesus Christ, can we talk about the Jankum chamber that was the men's restroom?
I was going to mention that.
I just want to let everybody know. I want everybody to know. Dr. Legume made it to X Day. Dr.
He
Legume
destroyed that
totally
toilet.
made
he
it
the
to
one?
X Day.
Was he the one who clogged the toilet?
Every moment of it.
Oh,
He's
man.
Every
dead,
moment of
dude.
it.
That X Day soup still sits in my memory. Haunting.
Fid has an amusing tale about that.
Yeah, Fit, don't you have a...
Yeah, more for the public arena, please.
Hey, I thought
This is another of the shit themed
Oh, maybe
stories
it's
that Fid
yeah.
Chuli has at his disposal.
I don't know who's listening.
Oh, we're all listening. We're
Well,
waiting.
Fid's breaking in and out a little bit
Oh.
there, so we're having some connectivity issues with Fid Chuli, who would definitely tell us all about.
What Legume did to it. Okay, so just to paint a picture, you walk into the men's room. The toilet has a trash can on top of it to indicate that it's out of service, and the water line is brown, and it's somehow 3 inches. It's somehow 3 inches above the bowl. Like it was that full,
Surface
where the
tension.
water line was actually higher than the toilet bowl itself. I don't know how that's physically possible, but the meniscus, I don't know. So I went in there, I saw, I was like, damn, well, I guess I got a plumber coming. I'll just save this shit in my second colon the emergency colon, and I'll shit it out later. Go back a little bit later, still clogged. Go back a little bit later, still clogged. The sun goes down, the moon comes out, the witches are riding their broomsticks around, and I realize so long that I'm actually farting back up my gastrointestinal tract. Because I've been pinching off my ass. When you fart like back up into your stomach?
Can't say I have.
It's time.
Yeah.
And by the way, I've been living off of nothing but
Yeah, the egregious amount of McDonald's.
Yeah, well, you'll get there one day. You'll become a man one day. I was living
Flex,
off of nothing
for a guy
but
who's never...
sausage McMuffins and mushrooms for a week. So when you do that, you got to blast some major ass, right? So it came time. I just had to go. So I'm already injured at this point, so I'm peg legging it back to the fucking toilet, which is a long distance. It's a trek. I realize I'm not going to make it. I have to grab onto the side of an item that I'm not going to name because they would disclose the location of my crime. And I grabbed onto the side of that because, remember, my leg's fucked. Bend over. Can't just pull my pants off and squat. I got to hold on to something. Did that. Not proud of it. Left a pile. It's all good. It rained the next day, so get off my back. It's fine. Mother Earth. Anyway, well, now I did take a shit. I got to wipe my ass. The toilet is out of order, but there's still toilet paper in there. Way there. Hobble my ass over there. By the time I get into the bathroom, my colon recognizes where I am. Oh, this is where we poop. Okay, let's do it. No, we already did that. No, more poopy, poopy, poopy. And I'm like, okay. So, again, brown water all the way up to the rim of the bowl with a trash can on top of it. Okay?
He didn't let it deter him.
Right here. Lake Duperior. Finally, thankfully, they had the handicap rail on the side. I was able to grab that, dip my ass down, like hover just above the bowl, right? The bottom of my fucking scrotum kept teabagging, kept kissing the surface of the X-Day soup, okay? And like, I had to keep rescuing my fucking balls from the fucking X-Day soup while I'm blasting ass, which is, by the way, mostly liquid at this point, on going into liquid from a distance of about 1 inch. A lot of velocity. So there's a lot of splashback happening, okay? A lot of splashback. Any of you like ballistics experts, blood splatter experts, you know what I'm talking about here, okay? So by the time I finally get done, I think I got about 4 or 5 good dunks of the sack into the X-Day soup. Had to stand. So kicked me off of Free Think Radio, but suffice it to say that I did poke my head out the door to make sure nobody saw me leave. That's how bad the rest of that went. And they lived happily.
And we
ever
told
after.
everybody the next day.
And then Fid found out the next morning that the adjacent restroom was fixed and available.
Yeah, you could have used it at any time.
At any time.
That was the best part.
That
He was
was-
so
I was
stunned.
proud-
The
proud
look on his face yesterday when I'm like,
of myself.
he tells me this story, and I'm like, why didn't you just go to the bathroom that was, the next thing over? And he's like, what are you talking about? I'm like, the woman's bathroom is attached to that one. You just walk over there and use that bathroom. And he kind of just rolled his shoulders, and he waved his hand at me, and he hobbled off with his little pirate peg leg, and he couldn't be consoled for about 10 or 15 minutes. It was sad. Yeah, that's the toilet in question. It's in the
That was
chat.
a nightmare.
And
to
the
deal
woman's
with.
room that was fully fucking functional, and it was 90 degrees on the other side of the building. Yeah. The entire time, there was a perfectly functional altar just waiting for my prayers out of my butt. And, yeah, I was going through that ordeal. So anyway, I'm gonna go kill myself, is what I'm saying.
Well, before you do that, we definitely want to thank everybody that came out to X Day. There are people that contributed for online. I know Scalpod and Normal Gene had made videos that we wanted to play, and the Rat Hole was reaching out to us. Big props out to them for holding their own X Day in the face of the con. Constantly, those guys are badasses. Check out the Rat Hole over in McAllister. Big, super huge shout outs to Hell Swami Satellite Weavers for the Bob robot analog that we were able to sacrifice. We did have plans to do that at sundown, but sometimes plans get shifted. That's why it's a drill. So there is footage of the burning. It's a little bit dark, but we did get some good shots of that, and that was phenomenal. To everybody that came down and performed on stage and contributed to the auction, Trixie donated that rhinestone sequined bob flag, as well as Johnny's numerous beautiful spin art paintings. That if you got one, did you see that they glow in the dark? They're so cool. I got one over in my kids' room. That's the only bob head in there. And Flux Rutenberg, definitely down as technical director and soundboard operator, and Aster 6, official mom of X Day, and Dr. Cosmac, our psychoustics engineer, and Caller 23 for What the Fuck Did I Just Show Live, and Elvis Martini for getting up there. The Too Late crew were phenomenal. I really hope that we can get them on Free Think Radio. Just so many people showed up. And I mean, we had 20 people at 7 a.m. at the saucer landing, which I can't remember the last time that there's been that many people at a 7 a.m. So shout outs to Xanthi Octashroom and everybody over there that helped us put this on. And of course, it wouldn't be time for the show without those shout outs. Reverend 80 and Hazel of the Windmills, music that I used from them on the overnights that you would hear echoing across the lake. That was really nice. And there's a lot of other people that helped us out, such as Big Bob South, Brother Other, Michael Marcus, of course Ferg, and Triology Soaps, available at packslack.com. Reverend Loch Ness, Trenchy, Agent Lloyd, Negative at Night, Long Dead, Scalpod, Hazel of the Windmills, oh my goodness, Caller 23, Reverend 80, Cosmac, Apostle X Fenord, you guys, Couch Sloth, I don't know if I said Couch Sloth or not, you guys are on the Patreon, and that's where that's where this goes. And in fact, I'm a week late on paying the dues on the satellite warehouse, so that's where that Patreon money is going. I have received a lot of messages from people asking about how they can pitch in for what we spent on this year, and obviously what we are going to be spending next year. So I have actually created a GoFundMe to help us procure some wheels. My car is on its last dog wheel, so we found a couple of vans in the area, so we're looking to buy something very soon so we can maintain this, because between the two local organizers here, Fid Chuli and Dr. Fox, we're scrambling. There's train rides involved, there's Ubers that we have to use. So if it's something that you would like to help us out with, we have the next Devival, October 16th. We already have a good bit of stuff being kept down at Land of Id, much like we had at the locker at Wisteria. And we're going to be doing these for the rest of the year. And if you want to be involved, as this was a pilot, we found out a lot of what we need and what needs to be done. When it comes to live streaming these events, that's going to be hard. But we definitely have a better idea of how to record them and keep all of that together. So if you have something that you'd want to contribute to the shows, be it a rant or a song, email those to me at drfox, that's DOKTORFAUX @gmail.com. And we you know, this is supposed to be for all the subgeniuses. There's not a gate here, and if you want to perform, we want to get you behind that pulpit. We want everybody to hear you. That is my mission here, is to make sure that subgeniuses are heard loud and clear for another 40 years. So thanks again to everybody. Thank you to Freethink Radio. Thank you to Reverend Peace, Flux Rutenberg, Fid Chuli, Aster Six, Dr. Cosmac, Lord Ferg, Reverend Evans, the Sub G kids who got married at X Day. Well, the short of marred, but they're going to get their real wedding soon. And Ivan
One of
Stang
two weddings.
and Dr. Howe, thank you for coming. Rubik's Cube threw their backs into all of this. They came down from PA. Nate came down from PA.
Great show.
Trixie Von Mother's Spa, the Too Late Crew. So many people. Dr. Purge was there. Thank you, everybody. And we'll see you next week on Time for the Show.
Later.